Hi, Orange Room friends. It's Anne. Let's sing our hello song. 1, 2, 3. Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Hola, 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 y cómo estás? Muy bien, muy bien. Y espero que tú también. Okay, let's look at our April calendar. So, the last time I saw you was way back last Wednesday, April 22nd. Do you remember it was Earth Day? And we talked about how we could take care of our planet that we live on, planet Earth. So then you saw Michelle on April 23rd. That was a Thursday. And then we had our weekend. So we had April 24, 25, 26, which was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And now, what comes after 26? Should we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Can you see 26? 26. And then we've got 27. So that's a 2 and a 7. So 7 comes after 6, and we have the 2 because it's 20. So it's 27. And what is it? It's a purple umbrella. I forgot to let you guess. Again. Oh boy. But you know our pattern by now. Is it purple, 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 yellow, 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 purple, purple, purple. So I wonder what tomorrow will be. I think it will probably be yellow, right? Okay, and then yesterday was Sunday, the first day of the week. So what would today be? It starts with an M, and it has a m sound. So it's, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's Monday with an M. Monday. Okay, so we'll stick that up here. And so it's Monday, April 27, 2020 is the year. Okay, so I'm going to take that down because underneath we have the notes about our caterpillars. And we're going to take a look and see what our caterpillars look like. So where'd our caterpillars go? And I decided to use this lid from a box as my tray because I'm reusing the box lid like we talked about when we were talking about Earth Day, right? So you don't need to throw things away. You can reuse them, right? A lot of times. All right. So look at how big our caterpillars are getting. They're getting huge. I think they're like twice as big as when we saw you last. So last time we said it was not quite. They weren't quite as big as this first digit of my pinky finger. They were just about 3/4 of an inch. So let's see how they are. If I measure it against my pinky finger, how big are they? Wow. They're like almost 2 of these now. I'd say about 1 3/4. So I've got this first digit, and then I've got this little second part of my finger. So it's this part, that whole part. It's almost as long as that, not quite. So let's see if we can use our ruler. Remember, our ruler has the numbers, and these are the inches. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches. Goes up to 12 inches. So I'm going to see if I can measure one of these that are kind of stretched out. It's sort of hard if they're all curled up. This one looks kind of stretched out. Okay. So let me see if I, here's one that's all stretched out. Let's see. How big is that? That is, I had the wrong end of the ruler on there. Let me see. It's a little tricky because the jar is sort of rounded. It's almost easier to use your pinky finger, isn't it? But it looks to me like that one goes to about right here on the ruler, which is 1. Can you see that? It's about 1. There's the number 1. It's about 1.5 inches. So I think that's close enough. That is twice as big as last time because it was 3/4 inch last time. So it's 1.5 inches. Now, are they all still caterpillars? They are. We don't have any chrysalises yet. So let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what we had last time. They're all still caterpillars. So we still have 5 caterpillars. And they still look pretty dark brown. They're maybe a little bit lighter brown. Maybe I'll just put brown now. Okay. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next time. I think they might be changing soon, but we'll see. Okay. Now, speaking of caterpillars, I think we talked a little bit about what they turn into. We could wait and see, but I think a lot of you know that they turn into butterflies eventually, right? So there's a special kind of butterfly called a monarch butterfly. You see pictures of monarch butterflies a lot. These are monarchs. The caterpillars where we have our caterpillars are going to turn into painted lady butterflies. The monarchs are very beautiful butterflies, and then we see them in the Chicago, Wilmette, Skokie, Evanston area in the summertime. Excuse me. They should be coming in about, I think some may be arriving in about less than a month, next month in May. So I was going to read a book because this is a book about how monarchs travel all the way from Mexico they go to Mexico when it's warm in the winter. And then as things warm up farther north, as far north as Canada, or where we live in the northern part of the United States in Chicago, Evanston, Skokie, Wilmette area, they come here in the summertime. So this is about butterflies, how they travel to Mexico for the winter. It's called Traveling Butterflies. Let's see if I can't get this a little bit closer now. There you go. All right. So, one day in the short summer of a country up north. So that could be Canada, or it could be the northern part of the United States where we live, the Chicago area, or Evanston. A tiny creature wakes up inside an egg, as small as a dewdrop. So these are the eggs. So our caterpillars came out of eggs, but we didn't get to see the egg part. They'd already hatched out of their egg. She eats to grow bigger and bigger, munching on lots of milkweed. So this is what came out of the egg. What is that? our caterpillar. And she's eating milkweed, which is very important. We need to have lots of milkweed growing in the area so that the caterpillars have something to eat, the monarch caterpillars. When she's big enough, she sheds her stripes and forms a chrysalis. So look, she's hanging upside down. So I think when we have when our caterpillars form their chrysalises, we're probably going to see them hang upside down from the lid of the jar. I can't wait till that happens and I can show you. So now the chrysalis is forming, and then they're going to be in the chrysalis for a while and then out. When she breaks out, she has changed. So she's breaking out, and now she's changed into a butterfly. Her new wings look like stained glass. Now she needs to drink lots of sweet nectar for her long journey. So she's getting nectar from flowers. And certain flowers butterflies especially like. So sometimes you'll hear about a butterfly garden that has flowers especially for butterflies. Maybe you have some flowers in your yard that butterflies like, or nearby your house or apartment. She knows when it's time to take off, riding the southward wind. So she's been spending the summer in the north, maybe near Chicago or Evanston, eating nectar from the flowers. And now, all of a sudden, she says, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go to Mexico. And next thing you know, she's flying south towards Mexico with the other butterflies, the other monarchs. Sailing over an enormous lake. Maybe that's Lake Michigan near us. Getting splashed by a waterfall. Oh, I don't know where that could be. Maybe near Canada. Maybe some of these butterflies are coming from Canada. Let's see. This looks like a giant city. Busily flying over big cities. Maybe that's Chicago. And resting under leaves on rainy days. She visits villages. And crosses over rivers and plains. Plains meaning the flat grassy areas, not the kind that fly in the sky, although she may see some of those too. The southern forest is getting closer and closer. See all the trees? She must be getting near Mexico. The trees are turning a deeper and deeper orange. I think they look like they're turning orange because there's so many butterflies. The forest is an ideal place for butterflies to mate. So maybe they'll have some eggs, lay some eggs here. So they can, oops, I skipped a spot. I skipped a page. Huddling close, they slumber in peace. So there are so many butterflies on these branches. They look like leaves, but they're butterflies. I actually saw a butterfly tree once that I thought it had all these leaves, and then I found out they were all butterflies, thousands of them. And so they can take off again. to travel back to the North Country. So we live kind of in the North Country, and they're traveling back right now. So we might see some monarch butterflies in our area near Chicago, in Evanston, soon, in May probably. And they'll probably stay here for the summer, and then when they feel a cool breeze and feel like maybe it's starting to get cooler, they'll say, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go to Mexico, and fly off. So look for a butterfly that looks like this when you soon see if you see any. Okay? So, speaking of butterflies, I thought it might be fun if we tried to make a special kind of butterfly art. It's called a sun catcher. So what I've done is I've got my stuff on a tray here, and I'm going to move this back so you can see a little bit what I'm trying to do here. And I'm going to move back a little bit. There we go. See if this works. Okay, ready? So I have taken 2 pieces of paper, colored paper, and I've put them together and I've folded. And then I've drawn what's a simple shape that's kind of like half a butterfly shape. So if you look at the butterfly, let me show you. The butterfly, if you just look on one side of the paper, that's like half the butterfly. And it looks like the other half, kind of a mirror image of the other half. That's called symmetry. So if I cut on this fold, but if I cut on the part that's not folded and I open it up, I'll have 2 sides that look the same, symmetrical. So let me go ahead and cut this. And you'll see what I mean. Whoops. Except you have to make sure they're folded right when you do that. I didn't quite do right. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to... Now, if you have a small scissors at home, you could practice. Maybe someone could help you draw your butterfly shape, or you could draw your butterfly shape, and then if you have a small scissors, you could try to cut it out, or you could try to cut a simpler shape, like a heart shape, or something like that, too. It doesn't have to be a butterfly, but I'm doing a butterfly. So I've got, when I open that up, it looks like a butterfly. It did look like just half a butterfly. Now, I'm going to draw another butterfly inside the first. Where's my pen? Here it is, my marker. Okay, so I want to make like a frame. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to draw. Now, maybe a grown-up could help you do this part if you need help. Okay, so see how I do a butterfly like within the butterfly? Now I'm going to cut that. If you like that song, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go to Mexico. I think that's so interesting that the butterflies just know. How do they even know how to get there? It's amazing. Okay. So now what I've got is I cut this part out, and then I open it up. It's like the outline of a butterfly. But I've actually got 2 pieces because I had 2 pieces of paper. So now what I'm going to do, oh, and I also have the part that I cut out. So I've got these 2. All right. Now I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to pour it on my plate. You can use a glue stick if you don't have this liquid glue. I think it's a little easier just to get the glue on there with the liquid glue, but if you don't have liquid glue, that is just fine. You can use a glue stick. Okay. And I'm going to put my scissors and my marker away. And I've got my brush to paint my glue on. Okay. Now, what I've taken is I've got this white tissue paper. This is the kind of stuff that you might get in a package or a bag of, if you buy some clothes or something, they sometimes pack it with tissue paper. So if you have any of this, the reason we're using tissue paper is because you can kind of see light through it. And I'll show you when we hold it up to the window, when I'm all done. But you need something that you can kind of see light through. So you want a very thin, almost transparent, it's called, paper. So I'm going to take my butterfly and I'm going to paint glue all on over it. And I've got my tray here so I don't make a big mess on my table or on my lap. Actually, I have mine on my lap. I want to get it all over my clothes, right? You can put newspaper down too. Right, so I'm going to paint, 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 paint. I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go to Mexico. Okay. Alrighty. When we were talking about Earth Day, we looked at where different places are. Mexico is farther south of where we live in the United States, so it's warmer in the winter especially. Okay, now I've got glue all over my butterfly, and I'm going to put a piece of this tissue paper on top. I'm going to press it down. Okay, now I need some more tissue paper. So I had a few colors. I had green. I had a light green. I had this striped color, and I had some orange. Then I thought, well, what if you don't have any colored tissue paper? You could take some white tissue paper and some watercolors, and you could paint watercolor paint on the white tissue paper and let it dry. So I also did that. I took some white tissue paper and I painted watercolor on it, and now this is dry. So I'm going to tear a little bit of this up too to put on my butterfly, because I didn't have as many colors as I thought I'd like. So that's one thing you can do. If you don't have any white tissue paper, any more white tissue paper, you could also paint maybe a coffee filter. Maybe your parents like to drink coffee and they might have a coffee filter. That's something you could use. Or I have one other thing I want to show you that I could use, because I don't know what you have at home. So I've got a bunch of colored paper now, but remember, I think I used these muffin cups when I was making the spring flowers. This is a little mini muffin cup, and you can paint a muffin cup too. So I painted a couple muffin cups because these are kind of transparent also. So that's something else you could use. So anyway, now what I'm going to do, I've got my butterfly frame and I've got my tissue paper on it. I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to paint on the inside. You don't have to paint, like, I'm going to try to stay sort of in the inside where the frame, you can kind of see the orange frame through the tissue paper. I'm going to sort of stay on the inside of that. Let me put my glue on. It's a little easier to get it spread it when it's liquid. You need kind of a lot of glue to make sure everything sticks together. Okay, now I'm going to take my little bits of colored tissue paper, and I'm going to stick it all over my butterfly. I like the way that tissue paper turned out that I painted. That was a good solution when I didn't have the colored tissue paper. I really like it because I didn't have enough colors, I didn't think, and that helped because I had a lot of different colors of watercolor paint. So, and you can even put a little more on top, so you can stick some colors on top of colors. So I'm going to stick a little stripe on there and a few more. You want to get the whole part that's inside the butterfly frame pretty much filled up with colored paper. Okay, I need about one more. Oh, you know what? I didn't really use one of these. Should I put, maybe I'll put this one in the middle. I'll put a little bit of this, and I'll put this one in the middle. You could also tear that one, but there we go. Okay, now I'm going to take the other half of my the butterfly frame that I made, and I'm going to glue it down. So I need to put some glue on it. So I'm going to glue, glue, glue. Can't get that song out of my head. I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go to Mexico. All right. Oop. Almost done here. So I think this is a little simpler, and it's easier to cut out, and it's easier to do this. If you do a simpler design, you could try like the heart. I'll show you in just a second what I mean by that. Okay, so now I'm sticking my frame, the other frame on top. Okay, so now I've got this. And then what I can do is I can just cut the extra tissue paper off. So I'm going to cut around it. It's probably a little bit easier if it's all dry before you do this, but I just want to show you how it's going to look. So I'm going to do it now. You might want to give it a minute to dry before you try this. So a sun catcher, they call it that because it kind of, if you hang it in front of a window, a sunny window, because the paper is partially transparent, you can see some of the sun shining through. So what I wanted to do now, so I've got my butterfly. What I wanted to do is open the window so you could see a little bit of sunshine. So I've got this shade here, but I'm going to open the shade. Okay, now, if I hold this in front of the window, what I'll do is I'll punch it, when it dries, I'll punch a hole in there and I'll hang it. I'll put a string on it. But you see how it kind of, you can see the sun through? You see that? Isn't that pretty? So that's why we call it a sun catcher. So when you're done making this, you can hang it in your window and it looks really pretty. Now let me just show you what I meant about the heart. Here I took 2 pieces of paper and folded them, and I made half a heart, and I can cut that out. Now, and also, you end up, when you make the frame, you end up with the inside piece that you can also color or paint, however you like. So what I mean is, let me get this done and then I'll show you what I mean. Just round that out a little bit. Kind of got a little messy there. Okay, so I've got a heart shape here, and I could do the same thing as I did with, I could make another sun catcher. But then I also have a heart shape here. You could, it's not a sun catcher because you can't see through the paper, but I could decorate this some other way, and that would be a nice decoration too, right? So those are some things that you can make. Let's see, where's my butterflies? Oh, these are the butterflies that I made from the frame. So, okay, so that's it for today, except I wanted to end with a little song, Fuzzy Wuzzy Caterpillar. I don't know if we've ever gotten a chance to sing that before, but it reminds me of our caterpillars. So let's say goodbye to our caterpillars, our Fuzzy Wuzzy caterpillars, and we'll sing our song. The fuzzy wuzzy caterpillar crawled up upon a leaf, spun her chrysalis, and then fell fast asleep. While she was sleeping, she dreamed that she could fly. And later when she woke up, she was a butterfly. So, goodbye, orange room. Goodbye, orange room. Goodbye, orange room. It's time to say goodbye. I hope you had a happy time, happy time, happy time. I hope you had a happy time. I had a great time too.